Hello and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the 5th grade concept of multiplying decimals. This is standard 5.3E in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 1 of the 2021 released STAAR test. If you have not done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and then we will look at our answers together. So Kelsey is going to spend $6.75 every Saturday, so that's equal groups. Gives us a clue that we're going to need multiplication or division here. Every Saturday for breakfast, what is the total amount of money Kelsey spends for 14 Saturdays? So what we have here is let's draw a little strip diagram to make sure we understand. So we're looking for our total. What is the total? And we need 675 breakfasts, and we need to do 14 of them. So we need 14 groups, and I'm not going to draw all the way to 14. What I'm just going to do is just represent this and say it's times 14. So 14 times 675, so that sounds like that's going to be multiplication. So we'll line this up right here. Before we get to that, let's see if there are any other options. If we wanted to, we could actually do repeated addition, right? We could 675 plus 675 14 times, very long. That's why we do multiplication. But let's see if we can estimate here, because I'm looking and it looks like I've got two answer choices, B and D, that are kind of close together. And then it looks like I've got these two, A and C, that are kind of close together. So I bet if I estimate, I could probably knock two of the answers out of contention. So 675, we're going to round that to the nearest dollar. So that means we're looking at the 10-cent place, and that 7 is 5 or more. Remember, when it's 5 or more, that means it's going to round up. So 675 is about $7. It's 25 cents away. We're multiplying that by 14. So we've got a few options here. We can either just multiply it straight by 14. We could round it down to 10 if we wanted to. But I'm actually thinking I'm going to use compatible numbers here. I'm going to say 14 is really close to 15. Remember, compatible numbers are numbers that are kind of like rounding, but they're just close and they're easy to multiply with. And I think 15 is a little bit easier to multiply with than 14, simply because it's got that 5. So we can multiply those two numbers. So let's flip it upside down so we can do it the correct way. 15 times 7. And that's going to be 35. And then that is going to be 10. So about 105. So it looks like my B and my D are not going to work. It looks like it actually, that's what 675 and 14 looks like. It's adding. So we're not adding, we are multiplying. So let's get into our multiplication of decimals over here on the right. What we do is we pretend that the decimal's not there. That's how we multiply it. We don't worry about lining it up. That's only for adding and subtracting. With multiplication, we pretend like it's not there. Let's look at 675 times 14. We know how to do that. So 5 times 4 is 20. 4 times 7 is going to be 28. Add that 2 back in, it's going to be 30. And then 4 times 6, that's 24. Add the 3 back in is 27. So just like we would with 3 by 2, we're going to cross this out, put a 1, put a 0 in the tens place, and start with this 1 here. And that's going to be easy. That's 675. Multiplying by 1s is awesome because it's not that difficult. Now, what we do is we add 0, 5, 14, and that's 8, that's 9. So 9,450. Whoa, that's not anywhere close to what I said right here. But remember, this was a decimal. So let's bring this decimal back in. It's actually 675. What we do is we count how many digits were behind the decimal in the factors. So there's 2 digits behind the decimal in that factor, no digits behind the decimal in 14 because it's 1440, which means I need 2 digits behind the decimal in my product. So you bring the decimal in twice, 9450. Your answer is A.